Back. It's Jordan and Adam here. We're on a joint training with probably what we think is going to be the most valuable and important training. In fact, if you need to watch this 30 times to really let this sink in and understand all the implications and how this affects you in the future, as much as it does even right now, I think that you will absolutely have your time very well spent. We're going to be talking about crafting your irresistible core offer. The actual core offer of what you present to people is one of the most powerful and profitable assets in your business. It's ultimately what people are buying from you. It is what helps people stick around. And it is the sales pitch to help you to become a very, very not only profitable, but influential leader in the space. So in this training, we're going to be going a little bit long on this one, but I promise you it's going to be worth your time. We're going to be talking about what to sell, exactly what you need to sell, who you need to become to sell that, and who you should target. What to sell, who you need to become, and who exactly you should target. So I've got Adam here. Adam, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, Jordan. Yeah, I mean, this stuff is it's so critical. It's so foundational, and it really is like, we say it all the time. I mean, people, how important leadership is in this type of business, and not only that, but how important clarity is. A lot of people struggle to promote, to get what they're selling, out there in a big way. And it's not because they don't have a good offering. It's because they're not good at how they communicate that offering to the marketplace. And that's what this is all about, is creating clarity for you on positioning it in a way that people will resonate with and that they will find attractive enough to give you the gift of their attention and then ultimately their business.
Yeah. And I honestly, Adam, I don't think that anyone is born a salesperson, or that even people who feel right now like they can't, quote unquote, they feel like they can't sell. It's not always about selling. It's about presenting what I call the polished apple version of any product. In fact, you've heard the saying, hey, sell me this pen. And the concept behind that is take something that seems so pointless and even something that doesn't seem super valuable and can still be sold by someone who has the right presentation and the right positioning, the right verbiage. And again, you don't even have to be a salesperson to understand these facets and to ratchet up, to explode your own sales. But the biggest difference, Adam, that I think maybe we should just cover for a second here is that there are people, say that you've been in the industry for, say, 3 years, and you are comparing yourself to someone else who's been in it in the same business, selling maybe the same thing for 3 years. And maybe they are catapulted so much further and they have so much further, the results are so much further along than yours. In many cases, you're selling the same thing, but in different ways. And the offer is ultimately what people are there. It's what they're buying. And that's what we want to be kind of coming through here to help you to understand about how to frame it even better, so that it's other people that are jealous about your results. And not only that, but that you can empower the people that you're working with to be getting the same results on their own.
Yeah, no doubt. Exactly. It's like how could one person be making $50,000 a month, selling the exact same thing as this person over here making less than $500 a month? And it really just comes down to that person is better at communicating the value, and in many cases, the product becomes less relevant because the person is so valuable, and how they communicate their value and what somebody's going to get in return for buying this product and working with them is so huge that's why they're able to do so much more than the other person, just even though they're selling the exact same thing.
So let's dive into this right now. You guys are going to want to take notes. You're going to want to watch this a couple times to understand it. We're going to be talking about a couple high-level concepts. These are the same concepts that have helped us to become top earners and top producers and very efficient salespeople with our systems and automation. But if you can't present your offer well to people, then almost none of the automation matters. So that's why we really want to be tackling this offer aspect very early to help you to get clear on this first. So the most powerful asset in your business is your offer, point blank. It is the absolute most critical and most exciting and most powerful thing in your business. It is the package that provides a complete result to a buyer. And we're going to keep hounding this concept home again and again and again, because what people are buying is a result from you. Think about the last 5 things you bought. You might even want to list down as an exercise, what are the last 5 things that you spent money on, and why did you buy those things? If you happen to have bought a car recently, very rarely is it just that you wanted another car. That's not the case. It's almost always the status, the comfort, the safety. It's that you feel better when you're in it. It's these emotional drivers when we dial down into the psychology of buying things, but you were buying a result. You were getting something more than just a pile of scrap metal, right? You are getting an end result. So we're going to dive into that a little bit. Your offer needs to be able to show people how you communicate your offer, needs to be able to show people how to move from their current situation to their desired situation. Now, here's kind of the visual here, and we're going to continue to as I mentioned, we're going to continue to reiterate this. People are always in a current state, right? They're on one side of a river, so to speak. So when they want to go to the other side of the river, they know that there's a couple ways to get there, that there are solutions out there. And we'll be talking about awareness later on in this training about different layers of solutions and products that could help to deliver that result to them. But here's where they want to be. They want to get to their desired situation, their current space versus their desired space. And this red arrow is the gap of opportunity. This is what is ultimately going to deliver to them what they truly desire the most. Usually that's around much more control in their life. They want more happiness. They want better relationships. It's these human drivers. So let me give you kind of an example of what this is all about. Let me ask you these questions. And this is going to kind of seem maybe a little bit hypothetical and maybe laughable, but I bet you're going to learn something through this. Which of these two do you see as being better? One is a bunch of pieces and parts that would allow you to create a car. Or is it better to sell the car? Well, your natural instinct would be, yeah, of course, to sell the car, right? And which one could we charge more for? Now, let's ask this question a different way. Which of these actually gets the result? Which one gets the result? Now we can talk about which one is better. I'm sure you'd rather have a finished car, and you might say, well, that would be a lot more expensive. And this other one, I've got to do some work. But here's the question. Which one of these gets the result? Well, the answer is that they both do. They both do. They both get you eventually in different means and in different capacities to the end desired location, which is a finished car that you can zoom around in and have a lot of fun. But which one is more valuable? Is it the one that it's a lot of pieces and parts, or the one that provides the result on a platter that clearly communicates? So if you were to come to me and you said, I want to buy a car, I've got 2 opportunities to pitch you a car. I can say, well, both of these are cars. Let this sink in for a second. And it sounds really elementary, but think about this here, because we're gonna get to how this affects you in a moment. Both of these give you the exact same end result, which is a car. But presenting the information about that, presenting the offer differently, yields a different perspective in people's minds about what is required for them to get to their end result. This is how most offers are pitched. It's actually, even if it has everything that is required, it comes across as this piecemeal that, hey, here's this thing, and maybe it'll do it for you, maybe it won't. Even if you are selling the exact same thing as somebody else, you can present it in a way that presents the entire end result. So most offers, and we'll give you some examples here in a second, is completely disjointed and miscommunicates the end result that is desired by the customer, which is ultimately the person giving you the money. And whoever has the money needs to see the path and the plan for how this becomes clear to them. This is where you get to high converting offers, is when you can clearly communicate that all of this is virtually being done for them. The heavy lifting is being done for them, that things are already in place, ready to go. Sometimes it's done for you. In fact, done for you aspects of when you are providing tools to people ready to go can be some of the highest converting offers on the planet, because there's no additional work involved. We get to dive into this very, very quickly. So Instead of being piecemeal, we need to help you to craft your offer to become the packaged result, the actual plan bundled in what we sometimes refer to as a business in a box. It gives them everything they need to help them to get the result. Your offer needs to show people how to move from that current situation to desired situation. Take a snapshot, make this the background on your phone. I don't care. Blow it up on a poster, tattoo it on your arm. If you let this sink in, you will sell more in life. You will make more. You will become far more positioned as a leader because you are concerned only and specifically about the results of other people, which is super, super valuable. Adam, any thoughts on this?
Well, yeah, one thing that came to mind when you were showing like the all the different parts to the vehicle, one thing that popped into my head was thinking about the network marketers who like they know their products so well and they love their products so much to the point where they are an absolute expert on their products. They could tell you, everything about the company. They could tell you, everything about the science behind the products if they have like a health and wellness product, things like that. And that's what, and if you've ever been in a situation where you've been being sold to by a network marketer who is in that place, it's like they're selling you, it's like, would you do this? And then they got this. And it's like they're just listing off all of the features and all of the things that, and they're just essentially vomiting all over the prospect. And the prospect is actually thinking on their end, well, I'm going to have to do this exact same thing for somebody else.
Yes.
I don't want to have to know that much about the product or be able to answer, where in the Himalayas the plant grows and all that stuff. So it's like that, that it's like they end up repelling people because they're selling everything rather than the finished product.
And you may have heard it said that it does not matter the product or the business or whatever it is that you're actually selling. It's how you present that to the prospect, to the customer, that makes it appealing and attainable for them, makes it clear and understandable. And sometimes, and we're going to give you some examples here about how being more ambiguous is actually more clear to people, and getting into the weeds about the exact specifics and the patents and the details and the features of all this stuff just makes you feel like, yuck, I just don't care about that. What does it actually do for me? Yeah. So your offer, again, needs to move them and be very clear for them to see how it's going to move them from their current situation to their desired situation. Are they broke? Are they afraid? Are they overweight? Do their relationships stink? Are they unhappy? Are they lonely? What can we do to paint the picture to help them to see how they can get out of that? So we're going to give you some bad direct sales offers, and these are kind of laughable, but actually we see these all the time.
All the time.
Here's one. Hey, do you want to join my program? It's only $500 to get started, and you can make millions, and it's so simple. Just think like an investor. Adam, what you got for us here? I mean, I'm sure you've seen.
Well, I mean, I see these literally on a daily basis. Some that are even worse than that, that are like, top tier program, debt free company, the biggest, the best comp plan in the industry. It's like literally just a list of bullet points of things that everybody says. Everybody thinks they have the best comp plan in the industry. Like, PM me for details.
Yeah. So is that like, here's my spammy link. Here's a bunch of features that don't affect you at all and doesn't matter to you. Reach out to me and then I'll sell you on it. Obviously, that's not going to be getting conversions. And even if you did get someone to buy with these types of pitches or anything that's only focused on external things that don't affect them, do you think that they're going to stick around for very long? Well, no. So when people are talking about building an organization and retention and those types of things, lifetime customer value, when you pitch things like these on the front end, it's no wonder you don't have any retention on the back end.
How you sell it and how you promote it on the front end is absolutely going to affect the quality of people that you bring into the business.
So I actually tried to type this one up to be like even to be really bad, but actually this is a step up from what a lot of people do. This company's on the verge of something big. They're on the ground floor. They're publicly traded. They have 72 patents pending. And if you join now and only recruit 3 people, you'll literally be set for life. And actually having, as Adam mentioned before we did this training, he's like, that's better than what most people do, because at least there's some foresight into what happens after the sale actually occurs.
Right.
Which is like, but you guys see what's happening. What part of this seems result focused for me? The only thing is that you'll literally be set for life. But when we look at the rest of this pitch, and again, you might feel like, I would never do this. In so many people, even if you're not using this exact verbiage, this same energy occurs all over the place, and people wonder why they aren't getting results. The offer just sucks. It's a bad offer.
It's like trying to build a house where a hammer is the only tool that you have in your toolbox.
Yeah, and you think you can pound your way through to a beautiful house or something, and you're just going to end up with a pile of rubble. Like, right. Even if you have everything that even the successful leaders have to be enrolling people, and again, it doesn't matter if you're selling a coaching program, if you're selling advisement or whatever you're selling, that force, that type of leaning in, as we call it, ends up being like a tornado through a junkyard, and it's like, good luck building anything of beauty out of that. So there's definitely a better way, and a better way to go about doing this. And by the way, back here, these people are doing that to cold prospects, like literally cold calling people or cold messaging people and sending them these types of messages. And if you've ever done that, just stop. If you think it works, it doesn't. And even if people do convert, like by random chance, or maybe it's the perfect match, they never retain. It's never real. So let's actually get you a real legitimate offer that helps you to be successful. So better direct sales offers paint the picture and share the plan for transformation. So you're not selling the features, you're not selling the you've always talked about products versus benefits, but even benefits aren't nearly as important as results. So stick with us here, because we're going to be explaining how this all works for you. People really want a plan. Some people come out and they just present the map and they just flop it down on a table and say, just like saying, here's the United States. Here, with this, you can get anywhere you want to go. Look how free you are now. Look where you can travel. Look at all these places, right? Look at this thing. Buy this map. It's going to get you where you want to go. But then when you're on the other side of the table looking at it, you're saying, but I don't know how. How do I get where I need to go? So for a map versus having a plan is the difference between, having no plan versus having a plan is the difference between just shoving a map down and saying, figure it out, versus here's the GPS. Here's the left to right. Here is exactly how you get where you want to go. Where are you now? The GPS knows. You know where you are. They know where they are. They know where they want to go. I need to get to New York City. I need to get to California. I need to get to, where I need to get to Florida. So we punch in the coordinates and we say, okay, let's develop that plan to help you know exactly where to go. Now, is there going to be construction roads? Yes. Is there going to be work involved? Yes. I'm telling you, people are not afraid of doing work or putting some things in place, but especially people who are just starting out, they just don't know where to start. So they just want that plan, even if it isn't perfect. Like, you'll even forgive your GPS for routing you 10 minutes out of the way, being a little bit imperfect, because it still gets you to the end result, which is ultimately the focus. So guys, better direct sales offers. What we want to do instead is help you to architect that plan that you present to people. Now, these slides are actually going to give you essentially an exact framework. Just like you're going to go out and present a framework to other people, we want to present this to you. We highly suggest that you create your own plan, but this is enough for you to actually get started and kind of fill in the gaps a little bit, fill in the blanks. So I'm going to read this kind of like a script, but imagine this offer being presented to you instead of the things that you've kind of seen before, kind of the different, the different energies that are presented. So I'm just going to read this straight up with no agenda, no any particular sales ability, just going to be reading this to you, but notice how it's presented differently. The positioning is different. It's very high level. It's very unspecific. We never dive into the weeds, but it's always focused on the result and the plan to help them get there. So say you're on the phone with somebody and it's time to actually present the offer. Our proven system gives you the support and clarity for the absolute best opportunity for success. We provide you with the 4 pillars to ensure that you see fast wins, but also longevity in your business. So pillar number 1 is products. We work people through 4 pillars. The first pillar is products. The most foundational aspect of any successful business, online or offline, is the product itself. These products have, and you can explain a couple benefits there. These products actually do have these kind of life-changing properties that provides you with what type of result is it that they want. It provides you with the weight loss, or provides you with the actual game plan to create a successful business online. What is the end result that they are looking for? So when you have products that people actually want, it's like owning your own mini Amazon. People want what you sell, and they come to you to get more of it, just like they do on Amazon. When people have a desire for a good product, they come back for more. Our next pillar is pillar 2. It's funnels. So you need a way to actually market your products online. Now, we want people to learn about our products and actually apply and come to us to buy, instead of doing cold calling, cold outreach, or bugging friends and family. So we actually give you the exact funnels that are that automatically can sort and filter prospects that are serious and remove all the tire kickers. Now, this means that you're not going to be wasting time, and you only work with the most motivated people. We also help you to set up your follow-up. So for those who can't join right now, they can be reminded to join you later on. And that happens automatically through email. You've heard the fortune is in the follow-up. This pillar helps you to automate most manual aspects of your business. Now, pillar number 3 is traffic. Now, traffic, there are 2 ways to get traffic: free organic traffic or paid scaled traffic. Now, you're going to get a complete course on actually how to get started with free traffic using organic methods to help you to get fast results. But you're also going to learn how to run paid traffic on either Facebook or YouTube to reach the far expanses of the globe, where there's lots of people waiting to buy what you have to offer. Now, with free traffic, we have a very unique process to help you to get leads whenever you want without being sleazy or spammy, and only using leadership-based posting to magnetize people to you and apply to actually work with you. Scaled traffic works just like a faucet. If you ever want more, you just turn it up. If you're going on a weekend vacation and you need a break, you can turn it down. It's totally up to you. It works just like a machine to let you scale your business as you want. Now, lastly, this is duplication and retention. It's pillar number 4. To grow your sales in your organization, we also empower you with the support and accountability of our Facebook group, as well as full access to me as your mentor to guide you to help you get where you need to go. Now, this process is going to show you exactly how to keep your members active and engaged with you, which makes it much more profitable and increases the average customer lifetime value. So at the end of the day, you're going to have the products that are literally changing lives. You have the business model to help you to start fast and grow into a powerhouse leader. You have the traffic training to turn on the faucet whenever you want, so you never wonder where your next sales are going to come from. And you also get the training and the support to virtually give you 24/7 hand-holding and accountability to ensure that you're never left behind, so that you could actually spend your time with family as you want it, or you can retire early, or you can hang out on a beach in Jamaica, whatever it was the dream and desire that they had, so that we can build your business together. So
much clearer plan. Absolutely.
And even though it's a lot more in terms of actual words, you can see how the plan is put in place, that we move people through these pillars. The first pillar being products. We need to have a foundation. Part 2 is funnels. We need to have the funnel, the actual text side built out, which you can very simply provide to them. Traffic training to teach them how to get free organic leads or to run paid traffic to scale up their organization. And then duplication and retention. It literally covers all of the gamut, the entire spectrum that would be required to grow an online business. And then at the end of the day, we wrap this whole thing up into a single phrase, a single sentence here, kind of a run-on sentence, but it presents to them who they're going to become, that they are moving from this person who has no plan to someone who actually does have a plan. Now imagine that versus this. Hey, do you want to join my program? It's only $500 to get started, and you can make millions, and it's so simple. Just think like an investor.
Yeah, I'd say the 4-point plan is definitely the more attractive option.
And so even though it's in more or less words, be thinking about how offering a pillar-based approach, even that high level, you notice we never got into the weeds. We never talked about specifics even on the company history and the patents that they have and that they're publicly traded, or any of those things that just don't matter to the result of the person. In fact, the way that you present it to your members is how they are going to picture themselves pitching it. And that is a really prestigious and honorable way to present an offer. It's how professionals act in business. So Adam, any other thoughts before we kind of move into the kind of our next section here?
Well, just one, and it's that when I think of that, when I go through that 4-pillar process, like putting myself in the shoes of the prospect, it sends an unconscious message to me that, number one, this is a leader because they have a plan for me, right? And I'm looking for a leader, right? And then number two, this person has a system. It's not just they don't just have a product for me. They don't just have a business for me. They have a system for me. And that's what everyone wants. Everyone wants better systems for going through life, right? Better processes that are going to make my job easier. They're going to make my life easier and less stressful. That's what that communicates to me.
Yeah, I love that word system, that word plan. It's the GPS.
Yeah.
Instead of us talking about these products and people have to create that bridge in their mind.
Right.
Instead of that, we say, here's the plan to help you become the person that you want to become. So
build the bridge.
Yeah. So let's talk about that actually right now. Let's talk about who you need to become, right? So let's talk about this big switch. And if you just absorb this and take this to heart, this will change your life. People will buy your leadership before they buy your membership. Adam, I kind of want you to take this away a little bit because you've seen so many different people that you've worked with over the years that are very much focused on selling a membership into something ambiguous, something that's just product-based versus being the person that others want to follow.
Yeah, exactly. And, we say this all the time, and I've been telling, students this for years, is that people respond to leadership in this type of a business. Like, who you are is more important than what it is that you sell. Like, how you come across, like how you and that's why there's so much of like, you've got to become more valuable. That was one of the first things that I ever learned in business, was that your success will grow to the extent of the value that you bring to the marketplace, right? And what you and see, leadership is so it's like leadership is like there will never be like good economy, bad economy. There will always be a demand for it. It's that absolutely vital. Like Dan Kennedy says that people are actually going through life unconsciously looking for a place to reattach their umbilical cord. Like that's how fundamental this stuff is, that if you can just become a leader and position yourself as a leader, that's when what you sell actually becomes completely irrelevant, because people will be lining up to do business with you because they want to be a part of what you have and what you can do for them. And then the actual vehicle to get there becomes so much less relevant.
So exactly along those lines, you need to brand and position yourself, your name, your company, your business, instead of something external. So some people will come out and say, I'm a distributor of XYZ company, or you can buy these products from this company through me. And instead of you being a bridge, you become a gate.
Yeah.
That's dang good right there, Adam. I don't know how you feel.
No, it's gold. It's absolute gold. I mean, I see people on LinkedIn specifically doing this all the time. I mean, people do it all over the place, but like, it just makes me think about LinkedIn and people, so many network marketers on LinkedIn that are like, ambassador for XYZ company, or, national director for, blah, 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 because that's like a rank that they have hit in their company. And it's like, and I just see this and it just kills me to see it, because of how much it's just killing their conversions. Because number one, it's about them. It's not about their prospect and who they serve and how specifically they help people. It's all about, here's my title, right? And especially when I see people that are, say, like, global brand ambassador or something, like,
right.
When it's like a rank in their company. And what kills me about it is that nobody outside of the company has any idea what that even means.
Right. Founding member of XYZ company. And like,
nobody cares.
I don't even know what that means. I see it in the footer of people's emails, and they have it as their their job title on their Facebook profile. You guys are going to get to Facebook profile priming for sure. But even look at our profiles. You will never see us labeling ourselves as just a distributor. You're pretty much just like the gift card for the company. You're just like the business card. You're the, anyway, in general, stop doing that. If you have labeled yourself as a distributor, ambassador, consultant for any specific company, people don't see that as, oh, you know what? I need to go buy that product from that person. They happen to be an ambassador. I'm going to go. You become kind of a number, just like everybody else. They don't care about the company. They don't care about the products. The customer thinks about themselves and their result. But what we're going to be talking about here, about this next big switch that we're talking about, is moving you from just being an ambassador to being a leader, to being the person who yields, or who wields the result rather. This is how things can really start to change for you. So here's when we've heard about expert positioning. This is what we need to be working on for you. So the very first level in any type of commerce, anything, buying anything online, anywhere in the world, there are customers, right? There are people who are exchanging money for an end product, right? So there have to be customers in any business. In fact, that's often why many companies have product minimums that have to be purchased. Most of that has to do with compliance and whatnot, but there have to be customers or there is no business, right? It doesn't matter how many distributors are if there's no one buying the product, right? So there have to be customers. That's critical. The next level up from that, which is where most people stop, is business owners, right? It's the ambassador. It is the consultant. It's the distributor, where they're saying, hey, I am this guide for this person. I have this role to play. You're pretty much an employee of this company. It's the same. Customers look at that label as, first of all, I don't even know what a global branding founding ambassador means, right? But also they have no idea first of all, what it means for them, but also how do they even take action on that? Like, what does that mean to me? What should I be even buying from you, right? They don't understand that. But most people stop at that second level. So for you to become a leader, the bridge that you need to create, right, and that you're here to create, this is what all leaders, think about any leader that you look up to, anyone in your upline, any mentor, they are at level 3. They are at level 3. It's where the largest income happens. It's where the greatest scalability happens. It's where the most powerful branding happens. And it's what a lot of people have a hard time seeing the picture of what's possible for them until it happens. And so we need to have you start right now pursuing this, but you want to become the leader that helps other business builders. Adam, let's talk about the bridge a little bit to help kind of like explain this little.
You know, I love the bridge analogy because it literally is like we talked about point A being their current situation and point B being their desired situation, right? It's like you literally need to position yourself as a solution for them, as a bridge to get from point A to point B, from their current situation to their desired situation. And you know, if you think about a bridge, I mean, there's a lot of ways that somebody could potentially get from point A to point B. I mean, they could swim from one side to the other, right? But if they do that, then it's gonna be slow. They're definitely exposing themselves to a lot more danger, and they might never even make it. But if they take the bridge, right, or it's like if you take the bridge to get from one side or the other, you're reducing your risks of danger. There's a much clearer path from one side to the other, and you're definitely reducing your chances of dying on the way from one side to the other. Like, that's how you need to kind of see yourself. In fact, I'm actually the next purchase for my office here is I'm going to get a picture of a bridge, like, you know, maybe the Brooklyn Bridge or the Golden Gate Bridge, like a framed picture of a bridge right next to my desk, just to remind myself how, like, to anchor that to me, how important it is. I am the bridge from one point to the other. And you guys, we are phenomenal at this. If you're inside the course right now, like, it's a testament to how good we are at positioning ourselves as a bridge from point A to point B. And that's it. But if you think about it, like, everyone who's like really good at marketing is really good at positioning themselves as that bridge.
Yeah, I love that. I think we should actually just print off a ton of copies of that and just send it to everyone to anchor this in your mind, that you have the ability, especially through this program, we're helping you to build this bridge that you then open up the gates to let other people cross from one side to the other. I hope you guys understand this. So we are the bridge for your bridge. And for you, what this means is when you build this plan, you say, here is the exact road that you travel to get you from one side to the other. That becomes so clear to people when you present it properly. Now, for people who are, doing the kind of scammy, really, really bad ways of making offers, right? We kind of showing you some examples of bad offers. Those are the same as saying, hey, here's a kayak. Good luck crossing this massive like divide. Good luck. Or hey, we're going to be in this plane, but go ahead and jump out. Here's a parachute. Good luck. There is no plan paved forward. So when people are not buying from you, they're almost 100% of the time not clear on how it gets them that result, or they don't actually want the result. Those are the only two things. You can't believe people's money stories anyway, because if I had a plan for you to make an extra $100,000 this year, and I said it's going to be $50,000, and this is the exact plan, and you truly believe that, and you wanted that result, you would do whatever it took to get that $50,000 to make that happen. It's an extreme example. But even if say there's like a long lost love and they're in France and they're waiting for you and you have 48 hours to get over there to live with them forever. Here's a non-monetary based example. You would do whatever it takes to get on the first flight, to afford it, to make it happen, to spend the time and resources to get there, to get that result. They will do anything to get what they want. It doesn't matter who they are, where they are, or life circumstances. There's very, very rare cases that you'll be talking to people where they're qualified, they're a great fit to be working with you. And literally the money thing is just impossible. I mean, we see it
exactly
so often.
Right. It's like, yes, like if you're selling something for $500 or even $2,500, if that's the cost of your membership to your program, and people are saying, I don't have the money, it's frankly, it's not true. They have $1,000 cell phone in their pocket, right?
Yeah,
it's like they like, we find the money for things that we want. They just don't see the plan yet. They don't see the desire. And as soon as they see that, then they magically will come up with the money. I promise you, just like you and I have done whenever something that has come around that we wanted, regardless of our actual financial situation, we figure it out, and they will figure it out too. Those people, it's not that they don't have the money. They just don't see it yet. They don't see the plan yet.
I mean, even right now in this program, we've got like a 19-year-old kid. We've got I don't want to say kid, obviously that's kind of a man at this point, but just I say that comparatively, but like a 19-year-old guy. We've got a 20-year-old guy. I think we have a 22-year-old guy. And all of them were fighting and scraping to make it happen because they saw the plan. They saw this bridge and they said, okay, there is a toll. There's a toll to cross this bridge, and I can see where my life is going to be because of this plan. And when they get the plan that they can pass off to other people, we've got people in this current process right now who have a $10,000 enrollment. Okay, so for any of you who have like a $500, $1,000, $2,500 enrollment into your program, just know that there are people here that are selling and converting people into a $10,000 program using the exact same model of presenting this bridge
and marketing to people that are pretty similar. You know, it's like I feel like people often say, well, it's the market, it's the audience. It's like, my people don't have the money. That's not the case.
I actually just heard this story recently, saw it in some of our groups here, that this one associate had a $4,800 or so, like $4,500 program, but has a friend who has $150,000 per month program for like Hollywood executives. Can you imagine that? $150,000 a month for a particular program that involves some coaching and products and advisement and that kind of a thing. If you're having a hard time wrapping your head around selling a $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 product consistently, just know that there are people out there spending millions of dollars a year on the same type of results-based programming that you can be presenting to people. And that's really exciting stuff, I think. So let's talk about that, Adam. Exactly who you should target, because people are always wondering, What do we do with our actual targeting, with our avatar, with our key demographic? We want to really dispel a lot of the myths around here and just simplify kind of this process. And I kind of want to explain it through these levels of awareness. Now, this is from Eugene Schwartz. He wrote one of the most foundational books on advertising called Breakthrough Advertising. And I think, Adam, they're like $1,000 a copy now.
Yes, seriously, it's like the most expensive book I've ever heard of.
Yeah, and like you can't even get like bootleg copies because like people won't even share their bootleg copies. It's like that good. But I'm going to reveal some of this information to you guys here because I really think it's going to be pivotal for you. So here are the levels of awareness. And when people are moving down this awareness spectrum, that's when they make purchases. So let's talk about unaware. This is very obvious. It's prospects that have no idea who you are. They don't know that a problem exists in their life. It's almost like me. I currently do not have diabetes, for example, right? I am completely unaware and I don't even know if I do, right? I might not, but I'm completely unaware. I don't know about any specific product that would help me to fly right now. Say that there's some product out there that could help me to drink a potion and fly. I'm completely unaware that I even have the desire to fly or whatever, or even that it even exists. It's 100% unawareness. If people are unaware of a problem, of a solution, of a product, or even of you, they physically cannot and will not buy it because they are flushing money down the toilet. It does not serve them. So clearly people who are unaware are the worst people to target. But we see people targeting unaware people. We'll explain this to you in a little bit. It's like selling weight loss stuff to people who don't want to lose weight. Do you guys feel me? If you're trying to sell a result to someone who does not want to have that outcome, and you're trying to convert them and trying to convince them to buy something for a result that they don't want, they're completely unaware. Okay. So the next level up is problemware. These are prospects. They know that they have a problem and they have some idea of what the problem is and what it means, but they don't fully understand it. Now, this could be someone, for example, like someone who's aware that, oh man, I know I've got this kind of, I'm not fully set up properly with my taxes or something. I don't have a good tax setup. I'm kind of aware that there's a problem, but I certainly don't know who could solve it. I don't know, like, even if there is a solution that could help me, I'm just kind of like, well, yeah, that's kind of a monkey on my back a little bit. They haven't dealt with this problem before, and they aren't totally familiar with possible solutions. So they know that there's a problem in their life, but they've never faced it before. Now, these people, they are more likely to buy from you. And again, this is entirely based on you giving the exact same presentation to people who are either unaware or fully aware, the difference in the two. So even when you have your offer completely dialed in, we want to be addressing, and that's what this whole process is helping you to do, is to find and sift and sort and filter through people who are unaware and move them to most aware, or to simply find the most aware people. So let's keep moving. Interject here, Adam, if you have any notes to share.
Okay.
But solution aware people, it's pretty obvious. They now know, hey, my arm hurts and I know I need to go to the doctor. That would be a solution aware person. Or an even more extreme example, I broke my arm, right? So I broke my arm and now I know that there is a solution. I need it to be in a cast, right? I'm aware that there is a solution for a broken arm. It's going to the doctor. It's getting a cast. I'm aware of that. Okay. So let's talk about kind of product awareness. This is where we get really specific. If you break your arm, for example, there's probably, or if your arm even just hurts, for example, there are multiple different options for you solving that particular problem with the solution, right? There's multiple specific products. Now, if your arm just hurts, you might end up with Advil, right? You might end up with a cast if it actually is broken. You might get an x-ray and then sent on your way. I don't know. But there are multiple products that are available to solve that specific problem. Now, if you're in the weight loss niche, for example, and people are aware that they have a problem, that they're overweight or they're unhealthy, they are solution aware that they need to diet and exercise, but they are not product aware, right? Are they likely to buy a product that they are not aware of? Well, no. They need to know that that product exists. And that's what all of our funnels and automation are intended to do, is to move people into product awareness, right? So I'll explain kind of what this means in a second. Most aware, clearly, these are your best buyers. This is about 3% to about 10% of the traffic that you might get. There are people that are pretty much ready to buy. They know who you are. They're brand loyal. They'll come back. They'll buy again and again and again. Right now, you are literally the most aware about your own solution. Okay, think about that right now. Right now, you are in the most aware bucket. You are passionate. You are driven about your business and the opportunity or the products. You are most aware of those things. You will come back to buy that again and again and again, so much so that you would sell it to other people. You would recruit other people. Now, here's what I really want to help you to understand here is that your buyers will almost always come from product aware or most aware people. Okay, so I'll explain what this means here shortly. But if you're trying to convert someone who's only problem aware into a product that they don't even know is going to help them, do you think they're going to buy? Even if you pave the roadmap, if they just know, hey, there's a problem, but I don't actually know if this is going to be a solution for me or that this product is actually going to get me there, I can't understand how that path is going to solve the problem. There's a belief issue there. So you can almost always dial back to anyone that you've spoken to who did not convert. Say it was a great offer, you made that out, you made the offer to somebody, but they end up saying no. It's almost always a story that they're telling themselves. It's not a money problem, right? If they truly believe, if they're most aware or product aware and they were like, I'm ready to make this happen, I just don't have they're going to find the money to make it happen. There's almost always a disconnect or a belief issue here. Adam, any thoughts on this in general? I want us to make sure that we're making it really clear.
Yeah, no doubt. So, one thing that comes to mind is I feel like part of the problem is that people, we tend to think that everybody knows everything that we know, and everybody thinks exactly the same way that we think, right? So we end up marketing to the wrong people, or we make assumptions about where their mind is at when we start communicating with them, and most of the times, those assumptions are completely false, not grounded in any reality whatsoever. And that's why your communication falls on deaf ears when you go out there and attempt to market, because you're making assumptions about where they're at mentally and which stage of this process that they're at, and you're communicating with people completely differently. So I feel like, another thing that comes to mind is you want to think like the fish, not like the fisherman. So I feel like a lot of people go out there and they're thinking the way that they think when they need to actually step back and they need to put a little bit more time into it and say, well, what if I was to actually put myself in this person's shoes, right? How do they think? How are they making decisions? And then market to them like that, rather than making all those assumptions that I previously mentioned.
Yes, let's actually straight up give you the answers here. Let's give you the point blank. Your hottest buyers are those that are most like you, if that makes sense. So what I mean by that is that the people that are most aware, the most passionate, and passionate about the end result and ready to make this decision are the hottest buyers. So let's kind of dive this in. Staple this picture to your wall or something. But sometimes we think like I've got to go out and turn people into a different person before they can convert, for example. So we see this all the time with people who are saying, I don't know who to target. And we say it's really easy. Go find the exact person that you want to build them into. So instead of finding someone who is unhealthy and you think, oh, this person's going to be a great buyer for a health product, no, it's not. It's the health conscious people. If you're looking for business builders, target network marketers, because they've already made these decisions before in the past. They already understand the network marketing game. They've already invested in previous products before. And I can tell you what, about 90 to 95% of them are earning almost nothing. They have the desire to be doing really well. They don't have a plan in place. And they already have the mindset. They're already searching for opportunity. They're already doing these things. The best person for you to be targeting in terms of, like, say, if you're in a coaching program, are people who have previously already, had a coach, someone who's already invested into a coach. if your products or services are related to like investing types or whatever, people who are into like stock brokering or Bitcoin or those types of things, go find those same people. You don't need to go find people who are completely unaware in this different sphere, in this different audience, this different demographic, to try to turn them into the person that's going to be a buyer, right? For that type of a thing. The path of least resistance is people who already buy what you're selling. Adam, you've always got a great way of making this super simple. So we want to just like staple this into everybody's head, because sometimes it's like, I don't really know what that means. This affects not only our targeting, it affects our verbiage on organic posts. It affects our ad copy when we're typing it out, our ad targeting. This affects everything that we do from this point forward about who the type of person that we're actually looking to find.
Well, I mean, I can tell you just from my own personal experience that I've recruited probably over 1,000 people personally into various, direct sales companies and, network marketing organizations over the years, right? And it has all been, or at least I would say 99% has been targeting existing network marketers. And the reason why network marketers are so easy to sell to is, number one, it makes my job a lot easier because now I don't have to worry about, people giving me objections like, is this a pyramid scheme or anything like that, right? And I can, and people, they already get it. They already understand network marketing. It's almost like they're further along in the buying process because exactly we've killed that objection, right? And because I also know that most network marketers, they are, they may be in a business, but they don't have the best plan for growing the business. And if I come along and I say, you guys have been doing this for years, I say, hey, look, this is what you're going to get. This is how we're going to help you to get there. This is what we're going to do. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Are you in or are you not? Not everyone's going to say yes, right? But a lot more people will than doing it any other way that I've come across.
And I had I'd kind of presented this concept to somebody, and they said, well, isn't that poaching? And my response to them is, if about 95% of people in network marketing are actually not at all happy with the results that they're getting. They don't have a game plan. They're not doing anything well. If you presented an opportunity to somebody who was not doing well and it actually changed their life to give them a plan, would you consider that poaching? And he said, well, no, of course not. That's exactly what we're doing, where people are naturally magnetized. That's that book, Magnetic Sponsoring by Mike Dillard, one of the most foundational books in the industry, is by creating a plan for people, by being the leader, they're naturally magnetized to those who have a plan for their life. Look at even the presidential elections that we have here. It's often whoever is creating a new plan for people that they, even one of our most recent elections, obviously with Donald Trump being elected, and this is not a political thing, but you can look at every single event that happens in history and relate it back to your business. This is no exception at all, that people were sick of the old plan. The people that ultimately, got him voted in were voting for a different way that was not going to deliver the old results, for example. So in your case, it doesn't matter if it's a political move, if it happens to be in business, if it happens to be in relationships and whatnot. This is why even, in certain cases, for example, when people are dating and they're trying to find the right spouse at the watering hole, that type of a thing, whoever is presenting the best plan, it's often the guy who whips out a ring, right, and puts a ring on it. I love that song. If he likes it, then he should have put a ring on it, right? The guy who comes out and proposes, he says, I'm proposing a plan to you.
All right.
You guys with me here? Like someone saying, will you marry me? He's saying, will you go on this plan with me? They've been courted for a while. And even you are courting your customers. You're courting your, the market to become known for who you are. When someone is proposing, they're pretty much saying, I'm willing to lead you on this plan through this journey. Are you willing to go with me on this plan together? And yes, they absolutely are. So you can avoid 99% of the objections that can come when you are attracting and speaking to people who are already in that position. And I'm telling you, this is a completely blue ocean. You are probably one of the very foundational people who even have access to this information that we're sharing with you right now. And as you learn more about it and tap into stepping into the level 3 of helping business builders to get results and stepping up from level 2 up to level 3, you change the entire trajectory of your business and how you present yourself to people. Everybody wants a plan. So if you provide an irresistible plan to those who are most aware, you have an almost zero resistance sale. I think it's insanely powerful stuff.
So huge, so powerful. This is, yeah, exactly. It's like, this is what wins elections. This is what drives commerce. Like, this is it.
This is like what keeps CEOs hired. It's literally what gets CEOs fired. It's, everyone, it affects everyone who's in any aspect or demographic or company or country. This is the driving force of the movers and shakers that exist on the planet right now. And even you'll find, gosh, even if we talk relationally, like people get divorced because they don't see a future for themselves.
Yeah, right.
You guys with me?
Yeah, Solomon said over 2,000 years ago, if the people lack vision, they perish.
Oh, so good, dude. So good. So you might be wondering right now, how do I develop that plan? Now, first of all, that's the reason why you're in this program, right? Is to develop that plan and to build that bridge, because that, especially for network marketers, that's the same plan that your members can be using, which benefits you tremendously. It always has to start. So I kind of want to even throw this concept out there, is that we want to move you from being the downline to becoming the upline. You're no longer someone else's downline. You are the start of a new breed. You are the start of a new branch in the company. You are the start of a brand new marketing style. In fact, you'll probably turn some heads with these types of results. And I don't know, for better or worse. Hopefully it's all good stuff, because when you're getting results like this, it definitely grabs attention. In fact, you will find that other leaders are going to be asking you, what are you doing that's different? Because they're all doing the old school methods.
Yeah, so there you have it, guys. I mean, this is literally the foundation of everything that you're going to do in this, with us from this point forward. It's that critical. It's that foundational, and it is exactly what is going to move your people from where they are to where they want to be. It's going to move you from where you are, from your current situation to your desired situation. Is just really embracing this concept and really, owning your leadership and going out there and becoming, that version of you that is attractive to people, that does attract people, that can say, hey, look, you're obviously looking for a better way. What you've done so far hasn't gotten you there. I've got a new plan for you. Here it is. Do you want to join me or not? And, just putting that out there. And the more you expose people to that, the more successful you're going to be, and the more, just the more money you're going to make, and the more, clients you're going to enroll, the more people you're going to be able to impact with your business. It is as simple as that.
Guys, and if you're wondering whether or not this actually works, the testament of this working is the fact that you're here right now. That it's the exact same system. In fact, as you go through this training, we give you the exact funnels, the exact training, the exact blueprint that brought you to us is the same thing that you get to use to bring people to you. And in extent, passing that on to duplicate that model, to be moving other people to also be growing their businesses as well. But again, it doesn't matter what you're selling on the planet. This model is what is going to brand you for life, for you no longer being just another ambassador, just being another distributor. It's the end of all of that. This is an entirely new breed of coach, consultant, distributor. This is a different type of person where you are a leader in the space that is recognized for that. And as you build assets like your email list, like your funnels, like a website that you might build, or maybe it's a Facebook group, maybe it's a Facebook page, that branding yourself in this direction as someone with a plan that gets presented to people, that you speak from a position of authority, of leadership, of even opinion, just sometimes being really, really opinionated. If we're going back to, even political talk, sometimes the people that are just loudest and most opinionated end up kind of winning the attention of the marketplace because there's so much noise out there. So you just speaking in the marketplace gets people to look at you. I mean, sometimes you'll see someone go live on Facebook, for example, and they'll go on a rant and they will get hundreds and hundreds of comments and people interacting, and people are magnetized to them because of that message that they're kind of ultimately putting out. In the same way that people, when they're getting engaged or they're having a new baby, they announce that type of thing, this kind of like, here's this new thing, here's this new trajectory, this new plan that's occurring in the world. People are attracted to that type of momentum. All right, guys, so I want to wrap this up, let you move forward through this training, move forward with this perspective in mind, that you're moving up from a level 2 to a level 3 to help other people get the results that they want. It's going to brand you for life. You will be a leader for life, and learning even new skills, new perspectives, and trajectories for your own life is going to affect your business for the rest of time. All right, guys, keep moving forward. We'll see you in the next training.